I try to keep it cool, but all these women trying to test me. Your man is a lame and ain't no way that he could best me. The way that I be killing it, I swear they should arrest me or check me or mess around and die trying.
All right, with me today are my fellow Misfits, Tim Stevens, Samuel Hernandez, and Matt Campisi. My name's Jerry Black. Let's get into it. This week, we are talking about the softer side of IT and really the soft skills within IT. Quote for today is from Dale Carnegie. When you're dealing with people, realize you're not dealing with logic, you're dealing with emotion. Emotional intelligence is not a static factor. It is not something that can't change. They will argue, and psychologists argue, that intelligence really won't increase once you're past it, something like 15 or 16, will really not increase by more than maybe 10 points over the rest of your lifetime. And it really is more a factor of how well you can learn, not are you super smart, etc. It's how you retain and those sorts of things. And honestly, it doesn't change that much once you're a little bit older. But emotional intelligence, the thing that's probably holding you back, the thing that held me back for a long time, that can be learned. It can be developed. It can be worked on. And that is great news for IT people because we don't lack in IQ, but we lack in EQ, or emotional intelligence.
5 love languages. I'm going to give you those 5 love languages. Acts of service can come in many different forms, right? And jumping in there, rolling up your sleeves when situations are unfavorable, timelines are tight, the pressure is on, something's broken, right? Those acts of service could be what your employees' love language. Runner-up. 26% of people in the workforce, they prefer quality time, undivided time. And I think that's important. If you have scheduled one-on-ones with your team members, make sure you're not distracted. Give them your undivided attention. And words of affirmation. 46% of the workforce prefer words of affirmation. And what's important is when you're giving these words of affirmation, give a compliment to a team member, for example, be very specific. Talk about the situation. Talk about what their behavior was and talk about what the impact was. Examples, give them some comp time. Amazon gift, Grubhub credit, spot bonuses if your business and organization allows for it. Physical touch. But some examples, high fives, handshakes, fist bumps. You got to be dialed into that because there are some people, and this is just what it is, they don't want to be touched.
Are we born speakers? No. But are we born afraid of speaking? Probably not that either. So it has to be learned somewhere along the way. If you're like me, who was in 3rd grade when you did an entire speech to the class about how you had your tonsils out, and only to find out that the entire speech was with your fly down and everybody made fun of you on the playground afterwards. It's a learned fear. It doesn't have to be that way.
The books are great. I would say the and is you got to get at bats. You look at comedy. We've been talking about this is you got to go to the open mics. You just have to get up there and keep going and going and going and going and going to get that mic time. It's the same at public speaking. You can read books, but to put it into practice, you have to take those notes that you wrote and get opportunities. If you look at some of the best public speakers, who are they? If you look at some of the best, it's mostly politicians because or you look at what are really bad public speakers is those who are in front of the camera a lot. But if you look at clergy or religious people, those people are in front of a sermon every week. I mean, priests and clergy and rabbis and all of those people of faith are amazing public speakers. On Sundays, when you're flipping the channel and you come across the online preachers, I literally will stop and listen just to listen to how good of a public speaker they are, regardless of the content.
One of the things that I stumbled across, it was actually by Jordan Peterson, is read, obviously, which I think a lot of people know that. Read. But when you're reading, write down what it is that you think you read, and that naturally will help you with your vocabulary, which ties right into public speaking. Yeah, I hope you get tased, Matt, and I hope Karen calls the cops.